Wow, you're really needing attention.
We're live.
So, oh, there we go. Wow. Oh, good morning. Okay, stop. Get down. I have my little ankle biters bugging me. They used to only do that. Remember they did that when we were at the cabin? Every time I went live, they insisted on getting up. And I would generally pick up Cleo and say, yeah, Cleo. Oh my gosh, she's getting gray like I am. And she's got morning hair. This is Cleo, just in case you didn't know. She is one of our Yorkie poos. We have two. They're our sisters. But anyhow, they're full grown. They're 4.5 years. Oops. And I just dropped her on the floor. They're resilient too. You ain't saying nothing. So good morning. It's May 6th, 2021. And you are joining us for coffee. We are the Bradshaws. I'm Amber.
And I'm Tim.
And this is what we do. So if you pull video on YouTube, you're wrong. It's just coffee. Good morning, Tammy.
It ain't cool.
Well, some people like to have coffee with other people, don't you? I mean, you're kind of lonely. Everybody's quarantined still.
Everybody, have a sip. We're having coffee together. Oop, mine's too hot.
Baby Pants over here only made a half a cup.
Baby Pants.
He always puts an ice cube in his coffee, too.
So I can suck it down.
Yeah. Anyhow, what did I say? Did I say July 6th or May 6th? It's June 6th.
Whatever.
It's June. No, is it June? Is it June? Yeah, it's June. We don't do drugs. Maybe we should. No, it's good. No, those days are in the past. Can I just shut up and start over?
Well, let's take two.
Take two.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for coffee. I said May. Oh, okay. Thanks. Well, it's June now, just so y'all know. Hopefully I put the right date on the video. There's just so much tech stuff to do before I even hit live. And mind you, I haven't had a sip of coffee yet. So anyways, here we go. Here's the full story. If you just accidentally running across this video and wonder why you're wasting your time. We are the 5 members of the Bradshaw family. We lived in city life our whole life for pretty much the most part. And hubby here decided, let's load him up and we moved to Beverly. So we left our city life behind and decided to move to East Tennessee, where we had never been before, with our 3 children, and build a life off grid. YouTube or whatever video platform you're watching this on. And it's clear we have electricity and a Wi-Fi. We're just not connected to public utilities. That is our version of living off grid. However, there's many things that we do that are a little bit more rustic than most, but we do enjoy some modern day conveniences.
Yeah, we haven't gone to the depths.
You can find us. Let's put it that way. We're not hidden in the woods. So nope, the description says May. Did it really? Oh, poop. I'll have to change that. Took me a minute to realize that it isn't May. Well, evidently, I still want it to be May. And a day before my birthday at that. I want to do that all over again. It's June. Anybody watching? It's June. Sorry. So anyhow, while we're having coffee, I felt a little isolated here in the mountains with no one, friends at the moment, and I missed everybody back home. So I was like, hey, let's chat. And I found out that I could do a live coffee chat, and Facebook didn't like some of my topics. So they quit allowing me to do live. And I'm like, well, YouTube hasn't kicked me off yet. And once they do, which is crazy, I'll find something else. You can't stop this mouth. He's tried for 25 years.
No, I know. I ain't like that.
So anyhow, we live off grid here with our 2 children. One child flew the coop, and she's about 25 minutes over in the next town at an apartment doing her adulting
thing.
She's
a city girl.
She's a city girl. Matter of fact, she was sick last week. She got it from this one. And I said, honey, why don't you come home so I can take care of you? She's like, Mom, no offense. Or she goes, but I need air conditioning and running water and a shower. And I'm like, okay, none taken. I did. Can I come over there?
Sound good. Sounds inviting.
Can I come over there? So anyhow, but And last week, if you joined us for coffee, I swear we said, we'll talk about this next week. I swear we said that. And now I don't know what it was. See, we just shoot from the hip. But there are certain things that we'd like to address.
We did a bunch of swearing.
No, we try not to do that. That's something God's been tugging at my heart about for a long time. And I've done much better until I get upset.
She's a loose cannon.
Makes sailors blush. Mm-hmm. Not something I'm bragging about.
They're like, let me see your tattoo. It says mom right there.
We've had a busy week. Timmy has still been recovering, but he looks so much better, doesn't he?
I'm feeling a lot better. I'm getting a little bit of work done.
Yeah, and not only that, but his diet has improved significantly in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think the scare of his, what did you say yesterday? I was dying. Or I came close to death. What was it?
I was close.
That close.
I felt like it. I thought I was going to have to die to feel better, actually.
I would have killed myself, gone back and got him and brought him back going, you ain't leaving me. Mm-hmm. But so it was rough, but it shook him a little bit. It would most people.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when, I don't know.
Did you see the light?
Yeah, it's like getting slapped.
I'll slap you. Okay, do you remember this button right there? That's where, see, he's looking at y'all like you're a mirror. You know, it's like, ooh, I can see myself in the computer screen.
Yeah.
No, but you got to look at the dot. That's looking in their eyes. Look into their soul.
Nah, don't do that.
So anyhow, busy week. We had tried to get his echocardiogram for anybody that's keeping up. We went there and we couldn't get the financing approved for it for the third time. So we left. Money. And it's crazy because every time you go to the doctor, they want you to have like 100 tests that you don't need, all because of the money and everything else. And now we're trying to get one and they're like, no, just, you don't have enough money. So, and it's fine because he had an EKG when he was in the hospital. So we weren't really concerned. They were just trying to figure out what caused this little perfect storm of events. But I feel pretty confident in knowing what happened. And he's not, but I am. So we're good with that.
I had too much bad stuff in me and it wanted to come out.
Let's hope we got it all out, eh? But then
I had that much in there.
From then, we're not going to touch that, so I don't want to relive it again.
I wasn't going to talk about that.
Okay. I got a bite or something here on my cheek. I can see it. But so anyhow, we one of the topics that we were talking about, well, it started at the beginning of the week, the meat crisis thing. Did y'all see that stupid junk? You know, some cyber hack, you know, ransomware garbage with the largest meat producer in the world got cyber hacked, so they stopped all slaughtering and everyone's freaking out. There's plenty of meat. There's plenty of meat. There's plenty of places that you can get meat. Don't freak out. And it's just another scare tactic. If the shelves get bare at the grocery stores, it's because people saw the report and they started hoarding. And now they got a freezer full of meat and you ain't got none. So don't worry about it. You can eat something else. Get to canned tuna for a little bit. Or go, better yet, go to your local processor. Go to your local farmer. If you don't have a local one, contact your local extension agency and find one close to you. Because processors are so booked, they're still not taking new customers until 2022. So that meat's going somewhere. Put it in your freezer. Find them. Don't freak out. They're still meat. It's the distribution that's messed up.
Yeah.
And that's what's wrong with Big AG. That's why we need our local farmers. And if you support them, maybe you can give a little notice to the Big AG that we don't need you no more. We want the little guys back.
That'd be nice.
That would be really nice because so many family farms, thousands have been put out of business by government-run agriculture. And we don't need that. We need the small farmers. And they could use your money. So go spend it with them. Or do what we're doing and raising your own, which you can easily do in a smaller, like for instance, we have almost 47 acres. We utilize an acre. That's maybe two, not even. Yeah. So everyone's like, oh, well, they have 47 acres. We don't use that at all. Maybe 2 acres at best. Would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. And in those 2 acres, we have our milk goats, which we could, theoretically, we could turn them into meat goats because they were a meat goat before they became a recognized dairy goat breed. And we raise our hogs, we raise rabbits, meat rabbits, and pets. Quail, turkey, guinea, chicken, ducks. What am I forgetting?
Dogs.
We're not eating dogs. I'm sorry. I know they do in other countries. That's just not what we do. I know I'm missing something. Did I say turkeys?
I was just more or less speaking on the behalf of all the animals we have.
Oh, yeah, bees. Don't forget bees.
Yeah, bees.
But that's on, a very small piece of our property. So it's quite, if you live in like, for instance, if we were back in Polly's, they were in the city. We did have chickens. You couldn't do meat chickens because, well, they made our chickens completely illegal. But if you lived across the street, literally across the street on South Causeway, not Rebel, it was legal to have chickens in the same city, just across the street.
Yeah.
But you couldn't raise, you had a certain amount that you could raise. Well, 8 at a time. So I guess, yeah, you could do, well, hang on, I'm taking this all back. You could get, if you lived in the city like I did, same street, it was legal to raise up to 8 chickens per property. So you get 8 broilers or 9 weeks. Every 9 weeks, you just replenish that order of chicks, butcher them out. You've got 1 chicken per week. You're good to go. You just have to go 1 week without because you can only raise 8 at a time. But that's how you do it. So, yeah, you could do it. You could do quail because there was no restrictions on quail. Quail are teeny. You can keep them in a small area. You can even keep them in a ventilated, enclosed shop, garage. We saw a video the other day. This guy breeds them and he had it in his shop. He had air circulation and stuff. You got to still be a good animal steward. But rabbits, there wasn't any restriction to get rabbits. Rabbits are good meat. And they are prolific producers.
Means many.
And they're full grown, I want to say 16 weeks. It might be more than that to full weight. But definitely harvestable weight in 16 weeks, I would say. And they can reproduce every 30 days, which is crazy. I would never do it like that, because I don't want to exhaust our rabbits. But yeah. So there is definitely ways that you can take that control out of the government's hands and into your own backyard. But don't freak out. If you see something on mainstream media and it's all, try to figure out what they ain't telling you. Because that's the story. The story ain't the story. The story is what they want you to know. The story is what they're not talking about. Does that make sense? UFOs. You got the election audit going on. We got bigger fish to fry. I don't care about UFOs. If they've been around for decades, centuries, long before us. They ain't messing with us right now. Unless it's some Will Turner kind of stuff. Not Will Turner. That's Pirates of the Caribbean. Will Smith. Sorry. What was it? Independence Day? Hey, that'd be perfect timing if aliens made a showing on July 4th. That'll give us something to fight about.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that would be fun. I mean, not fun. Right. Sorry. Exciting. But the story ain't the meat. It's something else. I feel like I haven't talked to anybody that was.
Nothing for this. I'm sorry.
So, okay, let's go back to the meat crisis, though. Are you there?
Yeah, that's
Did we talk about the rabbits last week in the lesson we learned? I know we did in our groups. You don't put male rabbits together that aren't of the brothers and sisters. Okay. They'll kill each other.
It's done.
We know that now.
Yeah, we're good.
We didn't know that before. But it's live and learn. So I want to share with other people how, most bloggers that you see don't like exposing their ignorance or because you're ignorant to something, you don't know it. And they want to be, and I fell in that category for a while. They want to be, they're considered the experts, so they don't want to show their vulnerability in that things that they don't know or things they tried and failed. And so you very rarely see that. And I'm not like that. I want to share how we screwed up, how we mucked up. I mean, I might come under scrutiny, but tough cookies, I'm learning. No one's here showing us how to do things. So I shared with others because there's other people that don't know you can't put male rabbits together. They'll kill each other or they'll castrate each other, and it's not a pretty sight.
Mm-hmm.
So now we know.
They'll have a peanut party.
Oh, good gravy. I think I was talking about making money, and I'm going to touch about it just a little bit, but I really don't want to linger on this because my heart's not in it right now. I want to be more, I don't know. It's just not, I don't know why I said I was going to talk about making money. I just figured I'd have to put something down because YouTube wants me to put a title on our videos. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Let's skip making money for a second. Oh, here's one. I'm writing an article on construction cost, and we already covered this. I think I even titled it. So if you want to know how to save on construction costs, look for that title somewhere under my homestead life. But my coffee.
More and more we're seeing.
Wow.
The rising costs.
Wow.
In lumber. I think it's tripled now.
Quadrupled. I don't even know. What's 10 times?
It's
What's 10 times something? What's the name for that?
So
well, tenfold, whatever. It was 8 and now it's 80. So it's 10 times. It's increased like a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Can't do math right now.
I don't even know if you could go out right now and purchase a sawmill because
so you can't purchase a sawmill right now. It's on a 1-year waiting list. Someone had messaged me the other day going, hey, Sharon from Simply Canning. She's like, where'd y'all get your sawmill? How do y'all like it? Because everyone that we've contacted, they're, 1 year out. And people got privy. They're like, JJ said here, 2x4 is now $10. Holy guacamole. Seriously. Yeah. Was it 93 stud? What used to be $1.98. And that was just like a year or so ago. That's insane. So I'm writing a thing about that, but the people got privy. They're like, well, kind of kiss my rear, lumber companies. I'm going to go buy a sawmill and mill my own. And now the mills are like, I'm back order. Yeah. So it's getting tougher and tougher to do that. We were going to town the other day, and I want to say it was for your doctor's appointment. And they were tearing down an old existing building. And I said, oh, they're tearing it down. Well, when we come back through town, they were burning the stuff. I about came unglued. I'm like, those people must have more money than sense because every bit of that could be reused. Oh, I was kind of miffed.
Yeah,
wanted to stop.
I got a good glimpse of it when we were going by, and I
noticed, the roof had a little rot.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of the wood was full cut lumber. So taking that into thinking about it, I'm pretty sure the house was probably built back in maybe the 50s or 60s, and you can't get that kind of wood anymore.
Not anymore. It's 2x4 ain't a 2x4.
Yeah, and there was a lot. There was a lot of wood there.
Yeah, they could have reused it, offered it for free. Some joker would have come and got that.
Set fire to it, man.
Fire to it. And I'm like, these people are crazy, wasteful.
Yeah. Yeah. Just I guess they're going to build something there, and they just wanted to hurry up and get rid of it. And
all they had to do was put an ad on Craigslist or Facebook. It'd been gone like that because it's so expensive, and that's one of the things that we're. Oh, speaking of lumber mill, sawmill, what are you doing this morning?
Having coffee and talking about.
You're not going to do it today, are you? No, he's going to go get his sawmill working. That's going to happen.
I don't know.
Do you hear my
I'm
words?
gonna try to go down and get the weeds and the snakes from around it first, and then we'll see what happens.
Some joker has not taken care of his stuff.
Well, it's just been sitting there, and I haven't used it, and
but now he's to the point that he needs to use it.
Yeah, so
and it's got a jungle growing around it.
Make sure everything's all right.
You have time before we go to go down there and clean it up.
I'll do that. So
that way, when we wake up tomorrow, it's fresh, it's ready. You just push me. Yeah. What do you got to mill lumber for? Enlighten us.
I'm building a 325-gallon cistern
for the livestock
stand for the livestock. So it needs a pretty good hefty frame. So
because how many pounds is 300 and something gallons?
2,500 pounds. So
2,500 pounds. That doesn't include the cistern itself. Excuse me, on the weight on the stand. And we don't have running water up here. And so we collect rainwater, or Timmy hauls it from a quarter mile down the mountain. And that's really tough with all of our livestock. That's one of your Achilles heels, is it not?
Yeah, it's a killing my heels.
And also we had talked about, so Timmy takes care of feeding the livestock. That his job that he took on when I left for work, and it was the deal that we made. It's like, I'll make the money, you relieve this burden from me, and you take care of the livestock. So that was a deal we agreed to, and he has done it every day, twice a day, and sometimes he has help, sometimes he doesn't. I can't say he always does it with a smile, because he doesn't. And however, we had a conversation. I saw that it's something that's bugging him for a very long time, and I said, well, hey, why don't I remove this burden from you? And that way you don't have to stop the middle of your day. You can move forward with your construction things. Because Timmy likes to have a free day with nothing else going on in order to get his task accomplished in his mind. I can have like, I got 10 minutes. What can I get done? Let me go ahead and tackle that. Timmy's like, if I don't have a whole day, I'm not picking up a tool. And I think he'll sit on his bum. He'll find other little piddly stuff to do, but he won't get his goals accomplished if he doesn't have that full day to do it. So I figured, let's just change roles. It'll be easier on him, and hopefully he will feel more accomplished at the end of the day. So I said, well, I'm not hauling water up the mountain, and you're going to have to put the cistern in before I take this over. And I had a couple other little things. So I'm like, I'm not doing this unless this is done. So he's getting those tasks done, and that's why he has to mill the lumber.
Yeah, I still think it's going to be a kind of a joint effort here with the animals, because
on days that I do farmers market and stuff, I mean, I still need to go make money.
And there's still things that it takes two.
So, I ain't doing the hay because I'm allergic to it.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is.
But I mean, I've done the hay before now, so and I'm like, I'm still breathing and kicking, so I don't think that would be that big of a deal.
Yeah, we've still got some.
Speaking of hay.
Yeah. Hey.
Praise God. We needed hay. There's a hay shortage evidently across the nation, because I posted the hay picture in my groups and on Facebook, and wow, the comments. Oh my stars. First of all, Sam, you posted how cheap hay is, man. We're going to come and raid your farm. $3 a bale. I'm like, what? But then we had some people like, they pay $22 a bale. I'm like, how can farmers afford this? We could not. I mean, if we had to pay $22 a bale, we'd have to get rid of our livestock. And then in other places, they're so flooded, they haven't gotten the combines in there to cut it. And then the other places are so dry, it hasn't grown far enough. I mean, it's one extreme or the other. There's very few people commenting where it's perfect and it hasn't changed at all. And we were really fortunate. A preacher friend of ours knew that we were looking, and he just not only did he said, hey, sorry,
You got some
that
hay.
cracked me up. He's like, I have hay available. It's on my trailer. I can deliver it, and it's half what you normally pay. I'm like, heck to the yeah. Thanks, brother. You ain't got nothing?
Half what you normally pay for hay. Yay. That's
Okay, you thought about that? You actually had to
and
give that thought?
so yeah, we got about 35 bales stacked up. So that's gonna
But
last
we
us
need
a
to look
while.
in the future, y'all. If anybody counts on other means other than what you provide on your own property to feed your livestock, we have to have a plan B. Because there has been times where we've needed hay, even back when we were in South Carolina, and it was nowhere to be found. And we're like,
Yeah.
what do we do? And so I haven't figured out plan B yet. I've seen some really good tips. Friend Joy, she had something really good to mention. I talked about fodder trees last week. And then Linda, Liberal Linda, y'all, if y'all are in our groups, you know her. She was talking about almond holes. We don't have almond trees here. She's in California. But I need to look in these options because you can't wait until the moment the emergency arises and said, oh, well, we need to do something now. You've got to have foresight and you have to have a plan B. Even if you never need to use it, you should still have it. So that's definitely something that we need to focus on.
Yeah, and I think with the 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 grass that we have here, if we can start cutting it and collecting it and rotating it through the week, summertime, that'll that'll save us too, because the goats and the chickens and the pigs,
and even the rabbits,
they love that sweet grass.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing everybody else has around. It has clover in it and everything else. So we do have a couple areas. We just got a push mower. It's nothing. I mean, we need something bigger to collect and then be able to collect the hay. It's just us. So some tasks are harder than others, but you definitely need a plan B. This week, Lindenheader dance recital. I just shared pictures on our business page on Facebook, My Homestead Life, the Bradshaw family, and she was adorable. Y'all, it was so much. First cutting here isn't until July. Well, it's because you just had snow last week, right? And that's up to you. People need to prepare. Most people that they're already expected the first cutting and they haven't gotten it by now, they need to have enough in the fall to store all the way through past their normal time of harvest, just in case life happens.
Yeah, and with what I'm learning, a lot of people, they can't cut the hay because
the fields are flooded.
Fields are flooded,
or it's too dry,
or it's too. There's just so many things that go
wrong.
Yeah, that can affect the hay.
We need to make sure our hay gets circulation around it, though. I know you cover it up with a tarp, but then days it ain't raining, it needs to be uncovered.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to Linden. I was just telling Tammy, she often gets left out because she's the youngest, and we always have business going on, and we're always working, and there's no one for her to play with here. And in conversations, people just skip over the little people. They don't know. It happens, and I notice it, and my heart breaks for her. But it was just so nice to have the whole day just about her. And my mom drove up from South Carolina to surprise her. And she got messed up with the coordinates. And the GPS took her way off course. And we were all concerned. And Linda didn't know she was coming, that she was going to miss it. And she showed up like 3 minutes before the last dance. There was like 10 minutes left of the whole recital. And my mom showed up the song right before Lyndon's last dance. And so I got a picture of Lyndon's face when she saw her. She was like, oh, and it was just great. And then we all went out to date. Ashlyn and Gavin brought Lyndon flowers and Morgan, and my mom got her corsage. And it was super cool. That was last night. And that was fun. I mean, you have to take time to enjoy life, even if you have 1,000 things going on, even if the world's upside down. You still have to take that time. Oh, and today, what are we doing today, Timmy?
We're selling a goat.
Selling a goat. We're selling a baby, our last baby female goat, and she already has goats. She's expanding her herd, so it's somebody that's familiar with goats, and it's our last baby female. We have a lot of bucks. That's the whole thing. It's kind of like with everything else, with roosters and chickens. Everybody wants the hens, and no one wants the roosters. And when you have a birth, you have 50-50 chance. And we had more bucks born this year than we had does. So I got to figure out what to do with all the bucks, because you don't need too many bucks, just like you don't need too many roosters. Our flock is suffering right now because we have too many roosters and not enough hens. We need to do something about that. I got to figure it out. I will figure it out, but I'm kind of at that stuck point for just a moment. But anyhow, moving on. That's one of the ways that we are able to monetize our homestead, is selling our livestock. By Tennessee law, you can't sell anything processed except for chickens, and we don't raise meat chickens. Maybe we should. I talked to Gavin about that before, because you can actually raise several thousand chickens and sell them processed on your homestead or farm here. But that is just one way, and it helps. Every bit helps,
Yeah.
Especially if you have, and that's why I like to go with purebreds or heritage breeds, because you can command a higher price for them than you can a mixed breed or a lesser known breed. And that's just how it is. And normally they're a hardier animal. They have, because if they're a heritage breed, they've been around since the beginning of recorded breeds, and they just have that natural survival instinct in them. But with our goats, they're wanted, the Nigerian dwarf, they're sought after by both farmer and urban dweller, because they're tiny and they're cute. So anyways, we're selling a goat today, and then we're going to also be working on our farmers market. We sold out of our microgreens last week, so I'm kind of getting it down. It was a stressful week though for me.
Yeah, it was.
It's stressful. I had microgreens that didn't grow quick enough because of the cold. I had forgotten which one was which, so I had to do like taste testing to see what was radish, what was turnip, what was broccoli, and that was horrible at 6 o'clock in the morning, having to eat all that stuff. It was just, I'm learning from my mistakes, because this is all new to me.
Yeah, that fresh green taste kind of stays with you early
For
in the
a
morning
while.
when you have an empty stomach.
Like a vitamin that you're burping all day. Seriously. But it's working. And I did have a workshop I was supposed to teach today about homemade salad dressings, and there wasn't enough people signed up. So that's canceled, just so you know. Did I tell you I canceled it? Okay. I'm not heartbroken about it. It is another way that we monetize our homestead, by sharing our knowledge. And I'm just busy. That's why I'm not heartbroken about it. We need the money, but I'm busy.
It keeps them from working at Dollywood.
Thanks. Welcome to Dollywood. Is this your first time at the park?
It's
Have you seen any of the shows?
It's nice to have all the little bits and pieces that come in and add up.
They add up. Every bit adds up.
That gets us.
So we have the farmers market.
Yeah.
We have the books. We have. Speaking of, it's in the other room. I got my new book out, the Beginner's Guide. The Beginner's Guide is the beekeeping book. The Intermediate Guide to Raising Chickens. And I honestly, I love this book. I know you guys are probably sick of seeing me promote it. Well, hang on for 3 or 4 more weeks, because I still got to do it. And I kind of felt guilty about doing it at first, but I'm like, I feel like, I'm just spamming everybody. But I'm proud of this book. It's my heart and soul, and I love it. I think I've poured my last little bit of chicken knowledge into it. And because I wrote a chicken book right before this about chicken breeds. And this one is just, it was more me than any of the other books other than the beekeeping. And I hope if anybody listening got to read it, that you enjoyed it, or at least had something to take away from it. But anyway, so the books, the writing, the farmers market, the teaching, the selling the livestock, and
products.
All my products that I make, the soaps, the lotions, they're in 2 different stores. And this right now, and my website, the blog, myhomesteadlife.com. Please go to it, look around, poke around, look to see if there's any recipes you want to try, any home remedies. learn about something you never tried before, every visit helps. You don't have to click on nothing. You don't have to buy nothing. Just take some reading time. All of those come together to support our lifestyle. We don't get sponsors. No one gives us money. The Lord will send an angel our way every now and then if he feels like we need it.
Yes, he does.
And we're grateful for it.
Yes.
We're humbled by it. And we never say no. We used to.
You know who you are.
And we're appreciative. But for the most part, that's it. That's just those things. And that's what keeps this place ticking.
Chicken.
I can elaborate on it more. I don't want to talk shop today. I just want to have coffee with y'all. I'm actually at the end of coffee. I'm sitting here looking at my calendar right now. What else? Oh, Timmy, you're going camping with Linda this week.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
It will be fun.
It's going to be fun.
So another father and his two girls, he's like, hey, they just traveled cross country in an RV. The whole family did. The wife has an autoimmune disorder, though, that causes her great pain and limited access for things. And so I don't think she'll be joining, but the father's like, I want to take the girls camping. And so I signed Timmy and Lyndon up. And it will be fun.
Yeah, it's a nice little place.
It's where you got baptized.
Where we got baptized at, and it's a big creek that flows through. It's kind of like a point that goes out to it, and
it's private property.
Real nice,
it's beautiful,
shaded, and it's gonna be fun.
I'm looking for. I'll be here by myself.
Hot dogs
on
a stick and burning them in the fire. That's what we're gonna do.
And marshmallows, s'mores. You gotta have s'mores. You can't go camping without s'mores.
Yeah, we're gonna have a big fire and enjoy it.
I'm looking forward to y'all going. I want you to take camera and take pictures, but I know he won't. He'll forget.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
So, anyways, y'all have a blessed week. That's it for us. We need to wrap it up, and get our goat on. Timmy's got to clear out the sawmill before we go. Get the weeds away from it.
Clear out the old sawmill.
And I'm trying to think what else we got. But we have a rabbit class later this month about butchering and processing rabbits. And I'm looking forward to that. But that's not, we'll talk about that later because that's what? What?
I didn't say nothing.
Timmy likes the pet part. He doesn't like the other part. But that's because he's not used to eating rabbit.
Well, yeah, the rabbits are.
They're growing on them. They're so sweet.
And they run up to me when I come in, and they just.
So you can pet them.
Nice.
Maybe I can get the ugly ones that are scary red eyes, and that way you won't care.
Yeah, they're
like the turkeys that we used to
definitely
like.
my favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, my favorites are the goats. You probably don't like them as much because they kicked him on his butt that time.
Goats are mean and nasty, and
But you do.
They're nice. They like me too.
Lucy and Ethel.
Yeah. So,
that we used to have in the house.
Yeah.
Anyhow, y'all have a blessed day. We're done. We're going to go finish our coffee. And thanks for having coffee with us. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Sayonara.